What's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
It's March Madness, so time to subscribe.
Go ahead and subscribe since it's March Madness.
That's a good reason, right? It's a good enough reason.
Paradigm 7 Studios.
Just between you and me, there's a line, there's no tricks, ooh, there's a love.
Welcome to Just John and April, the relationship podcast, your place to level up your intimacy.
Level it up.
Level it up.
Yes.
We're excited because we're with Lance J Radio Network as usual here in DC, WOL 95.9. And we're excited about today's episode because I always get excited about March Madness. I don't know if you care about that much.
You know, actually, I only care about North Carolina beating Duke.
That's a good,
well, of
that's
course,
a good enough
if Georgia team is in there, I'm gonna go for
You're
it.
okay for that.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. But
Yeah.
I'm not a March Madness crazy person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so-
I guess it depends on, when it comes down to the end. I guess March Madness, like who's playing who.
Right.
Do I
Is
care
one of
about
your
any of
teams
those
in there?
teams?
Yeah.
And if I do, I will watch.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I can't wait for March Madness.
So here's the reason
You know?
why I love March Madness. So
Okay.
first of all, in my opinion, college basketball is not nearly as good as it used to be. Back in the day when I was a kid, it was way better because a lot of guys actually went to college. Now guys are going
That's
straight out of high
true,
school,
that's true.
or they're going overseas, or they're going to the D League. There's a whole bunch of, so it's kind of watered down. Then you got a lot of guys who play in college basketball now that when they go, they only stay for 1 year. They call it one and done. So that's kind of whack too. So growing up, you could see the same team for 3 or 4 years. It was always great.
You get the great players.
That's
and all
right.
that.
It was a much better product.
Right.
But I still like it now. The reason college basketball is so good is because of the one and done. Not the same one and done.
Yeah,
one and done,
now-
meaning you're out in
yes,
one game and that's
I do
it.
like that.
That's great.
Because that is intense.
And it makes it so that
Very
you can get
intense.
some teams that are on a run.
Right.
Some team that's not even that great. And you got these Cinderella teams that end
Yeah.
up, winning
Yes.
for a bunch of games that
Very
they shouldn't
true.
be. Already we've had some upsets and stuff. So it's been, and North Carolina almost got beat. And of course now we upset somebody else. So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
We're North Carolina fans, obviously.
Yeah, I do like
UNC.
watching North Carolina win and stuff.
Yeah.
And I do love the one and done.
It's nice.
It is. Because you
let me
don't
tell
have to go
something
no
else.
long drawn out thing. You out,
Yes,
moving on.
it's true. But it's not just that. There's something about the college player's mentality that's different from a professional player.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a college player doesn't know. They're like naive enough to think they can win no matter what.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can see it happen. It's like, we're not supposed to beat this team.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, something happens in the game where like dudes get like a bunch of confidence.
Yeah,
And they start
yeah.
playing hard and they end up beating a team they should not have beat.
Exactly.
Because in their minds, they're like, we can do this.
I do
In
love
professional, it's
that.
kind of like, well, we know we're not as good as these guys, so whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And it's 7 games, potentially.
Correct. So the best team
this
almost always
game-
wins.
This
Yeah,
this
best
game
of
does not
7.
mean it's over yet.
Correct. That's very true.
So they
Yeah.
come in playing their hardest. So
Yeah.
that does make it a lot
So it's a
better.
lot of fun.
It
So
is,
anyway,
it is.
so you got North Carolina winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what
I
happens.
always have that, even if they're not, even if they don't look good. And the reason why is because it could happen.
It could.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can say your team
Right.
has a chance.
True.
Because of the one and
That's
done.
true.
You
Yeah.
know?
So we'll see what happens.
yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we got a topic today that I think is good because it has to do with sex. You guys know we're a relationship show. We're talking about intimacy all the
That's
time.
right.
And intimacy for us is total intimacy. So it's not always the physical act of sex, but we do think that's part of it. And so I think we should talk about
And there is no shame.
that. Nah.
We have no shame
Nah.
with sex and marriage.
Exactly.
And I think that we come from a generation though where there
there's
is
a lot.
shame.
Yes.
It's a lot
Right.
of shame.
Yes.
And we want to get away from that shame by talking freely about it.
Correct.
And, the good things that
Come
are-
from it.
That's right.
So one of the
Yeah.
reasons, one
and
of the
how we
ways
should approach it as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the ways we do that is we have an Instagram page and we do a bunch of reels. And there's reels on different stuff that we do, but some of them have to do with sex. And this one that we did recently generated some conversation. This is a particular reel that you may actually recognize this sound. I'm gonna just play it for you real quick so you can see if you recognize this.
Check me out. Check me out. Boom, bam, bam, bop, bada, bop, boom, boom, pow.
Okay, so we use that sound, and basically, for those of you on the radio that didn't get to see it, April is pointing to certain things in the air that are things that would make her sexually satisfied. and then I point to things that would make me sexually satisfied, and then at the end when he goes pow, we say basically
mutual sexual satisfaction.
Yeah, because we think husband and wife should both be satisfied with each encounter that they have. That should be the goal, basically.
Yeah, and
right?
I think it should be. And sometimes we gear it only towards men or towards women, or women don't get satisfied, so it should be that they're the focus.
Right.
When it really should be both.
I agree. It should be mutual.
It should
right?
be mutual.
Okay,
definitely.
so the thing that generated a lot of conversation was right before I said pow,
the last boop,
my last boop or whatever it was, I said no bonnet. And
most of the comments was
almost all the comments came from that.
No bonnet.
Yeah. And so here's what I mean by that. All I really mean is that I don't mind a bonnet. I think that's something that you have to wear to make sure your hair looks good and all that stuff. I get all of that. But I don't see a reason why you should be wearing that if your intent is to do something that night. You know what I'm saying?
So
if we're about to get busy, don't wear the bonnet.
So you're saying if the intent is like it's kind of planned, like we about to do this,
yes,
and you go get ready for bed and put your bonnet on.
Yes. In fact, I need to make this clear because I am not saying that a bonnet turns me off necessarily.
Right.
I'm not saying that if April has her bonnet and we hadn't planned to do anything
so
that night, that nothing's going to happen.
Those 2 a.m.
Rubs. Stuff still might happen. And the bonnet's on, that's fine. That's not a problem. All I'm saying is, my real point in that situation is really to say that for me as John, like what I need is for it to feel special sometimes and for you to like look different deliberately. Like you're okay, clearly it's time for bed and there's a routine that we have normally when it's time for bed, but every so often it would be nice, which it happens, so I shouldn't say it would be nice. It is nice.
To bed, though.
You really don't wear a bonnet. That's
I
true.
used to.
You used to always
scarf,
wear it.
Not a bonnet, but a scarf.
And I think the reason why you did this other thing was for my sake. You bought
and mine too. I mean, it was both of our sakes.
You bought a cotton pillow.
Cotton?
What is it? What is it? Silk?
Babe. You're not supposed to sleep on a cotton.
My bad.
Cotton.
That shows how little I know about
silk
hair.
Pillowcase.
You bought a silk pillowcase,
so
which basically does not pull your hair out.
Exactly.
It does the same kind of thing that a bonnet might do or a scarf might do when you wear it to bed.
But there are times when you might need to hold the hair down, so you need to wear a scarf.
Correct. Yeah.
So sometimes when I have my hair a certain way, I have to.
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Right.
But a lot of women are wearing bonnets.
Correct. It's a regular thing.
Regular thing.
So,
and that's fine.
But we got a lot of conversation about this. A lot of people said a lot of stuff, and apparently there must be. This is the only thing I can think of. There must be other wives who are hearing this from their husbands.
Well, I'm going to say this,
and I think some of the husbands actually.
It wasn't the wives that were responding.
Okay,
it was men who were saying,
I
yes,
feel you.
Dude. Yes, tell them.
So I'm helping.
Preach.
We are here changing lives. You know
the women were saying
one reel at a time.
The women were saying no bonnet with several laughy faces.
So they've heard that before. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they get it. But it's just funny because you are saying what men want to say.
Right.
And when you said it, men resonated and they were like, yes, preach. This is what we want to hear.
Yes.
Tell them.
Yes. I wonder if there's any other men listening to this right now who feel the same way. You know what? You should honk your horn if you're in your car. You know what I'm saying? Just lean on the horn.
Just lean on it.
You know what I'm saying? So this is funny to me. But here's the thing that you said right before the show that blew my mind.
Yeah.
You said something about the rise of the bonnet. It seems like women are not just wearing their bonnets to bed.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Okay. I as a woman,
yes,
have a problem with the fact that now a bonnet is a hat.
It's a regular accessory. You're wearing it out to the movies.
You are wearing it out to shopping, to the movies. You going. I have seen women in bonnets at the airport. Now I understand. Listen, I understand.
It's an early flight.
It's an early flight.
Yeah, she about to sleep on the plane. She's showing her intentions.
Or you on your way to a wedding,
right?
And you want your. But come on. I'm sorry. There has to be another way.
So hold on. Okay.
I'm against bonnets outside the house. I'm sorry.
I am too. But I have my reason as a man. You know what I'm saying? So you already know. You know what I'm saying? What my reason is. But so what is your reason? What do you think? Why don't you like the bonnet out of the house?
You know, John, I was brought up in a time. Seriously.
You were.
I was brought up by a woman, and a lot of my friends were brought up by the same type of woman. who said, when you go out the house, you are representing yourself.
This is your mom.
You are representing your family. You are representing who you are. And you go out looking nice. And that's what my mama would say. You go out looking nice. And I agree. And I don't think wearing a bonnet is looking nice. I think wearing a bonnet is you going to bed.
Right.
You're getting ready for bed. This is nighttime. And when you're not, I mean, that's just like me going out with my pajamas on. I mean, I don't think we should do that. Pajamas are for bedtime. Your room.
Yes.
Your home.
Right. So I want to hear.
A bonnet is not for the store.
Right.
And if you have to go out real quick, you need to take the bonnet off and do your hair.
Right.
Bring your hair down. I'm
Right.
so sorry. Or you can put on a baseball cap.
Right.
There are other caps.
Something that looks like it's
you can
actually,
even put on, the little,
Like the beanies?
The beanies. You can put on a beanie because that can be really cute.
Right.
You can wear that at night. Put your little hoops on with
Right,
it.
right,
That can
right,
really
right,
make
right.
it look cute.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And go out like that. But the bonnet is just, I'm sorry, that's just not the way.
Okay, so what I want to know, you got to get in the comments right now. I want to know whether or not people are feeling you or whether they disagree. Like, are you
People
a
are feeling
bonnet?
me.
I'll bet you, though, I wonder if the people that are feeling you are your same age. Like, do you see people your age going
You
out
know
in a
what,
bonnet?
John? I the people that I see,
Yeah.
I don't think they're my age. I actually see a lot of young people.
Well, this is what I'm
with
saying.
bonnets.
So there must be a different. So I want to hear from them. I want to know their thought process. What is it? Why is it okay to wear your bonnet out? Like, why do you do that?
Why is that okay? And I'm thinking, which Kardashian or which
I've never seen any of them
I
do
know
it.
that, but I'm saying there has to be somebody that was maybe what's the name?
Somebody that made it popular, you're saying?
Maybe somebody famous
Mm-hmm.
wore a bonnet and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was the girl that wore that bonnet one time and they were joning on her and then everybody started wearing bonnets. I forgot her name. I forgot who that whole situation. But anyway,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
and
I'm
she
way out
wasn't-
of the loop
she's
on
not really
that.
popular, so I don't understand. I
So-
don't get it. And it is the young people, and maybe it's because they mamas aren't telling them. You don't go out with a bonnet, sweetheart.
Right.
Maybe that's what it. Maybe my generation said we're not going to do like our moms did and made us do our hair.
Right.
We're going to say go out the way you want to go out. Be who you are. And I'm saying
You can be who you are
can be who you
without
are
a
and not
bonnet.
wear the bonnet.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. But I believe there are other women and men out there who agree
I think
that
all
they don't
the-
want to see.
I think all the men agree. I don't think that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I think it's, I want to hear from the women that do it, and I want to know why they do it, why it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
No.
Okay, so babe, one more question.
Yeah.
My question to you is, how do you feel now about the bonnet and bedtime when it's supposed to be, burn chicka burn happening? Like, seriously, like if you
No,
were giving,
seriously.
if you were giving another woman advice, would you say to her, "Hey, don't wear the bonnet every so often," or do you
I
think,
would.
or do you think that's just me?
Listen, no, I would say it's okay to not wear the bonnet sometimes. No, seriously, it's okay to not wear the bonnet sometimes.
Yeah.
And I would say that we are here to satisfy each other.
Mm-hmm.
If I know that my man would rather me not have the bonnet, why can't I come to bed without the bonnet every so often?
Right.
And then when it's done, you can go put the bonnet on.
That's it. After it's
I
over.
don't think it's that deep.
I agree.
I think we can compromise on that one.
I agree. Well, that takes us to our word of the day. I really like word of the day.
I don't know why I feel like it has to music. It needs
You have
be-
to sing
you have to
with
sing
it
to
in order-
Anyway, the word of the day is what is the day?
Diversify.
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 Yes.
And of course, it has a business meaning, but we're not using that one in this
No.
situation.
To increase the variety of.
That's it.
Yeah.
Change that thing up sometimes,
Change
man.
it up.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
To
for
the
men
same
and
old thing all
women.
the-
Men and
yes,
women.
it is.
You know?
Because really, this episode, we're talking about mutual sexual satisfaction.
Mutual sexual
So it
satisfaction.
really should be about both of us. So now, there are some things that probably kind of align along our gender lines. Like maybe most men like this and most women like that. But I think when you're dealing with your spouse, you should be trying to find out what they like specifically.
What they like.
And try to please them in that situation.
I agree.
You know
And
what
I
I'm
want to ask you, do you feel
Yeah.
that when a man sees a woman out with the bonnet on,
Yes.
is that an automatic turn off?
Yes. 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
This is what I'm
And
saying.
I'm not saying that we should be. Listen, I'm not saying that women should be dressing for men. That's
I'm not
what
saying- I'm not saying that either.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that either.
But
Let me
I know.
tell you-
No, let me finish my
Go
statement.
ahead.
But I know there are a lot of women who ask us and say things like, "What should I do to get a man? And how do I
Yes.
keep a man?" They
Yes.
ask us these questions all the time. How do I
Yes.
know when I find the one and all that kind of stuff? And I'm saying, number one, you can't go out in the bonnet if you're looking for a man.
Let me tell you what men think.
I'm sorry.
Let me tell you what the man thinks as soon as he sees that she's has a bonnet on.
What?
She must be taken. She must be happily married.
Right.
Because she's not looking for nobody in that thing.
Wow.
I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to assume this. I haven't been single in a long time. But
No,
I think
but
that's
John,
true.
I think that you as a man can still say what you think your opinion is about what other men, and
Yeah.
you have friends. You have friends who are single.
I don't now
know.
okay, or I might be thinking she must have been really rushing this morning.
I want to
She had
know.
to come
is
out to the grocery store real quick, and
I
you know
want
she just
to
up the
know,
street.
is that a turnoff though?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. Now, let me just say this. You and I have a policy in our relationship where we are completely comfortable with either one of us noticing that a person of the opposite sex is pretty
Yes.
or
Or
handsome.
handsome.
That is not a problem. We don't have an issue with that at all in our
Yeah.
relationship. I've never thought to myself, wow, she's so pretty with a bonnet on. I'm just saying.
So let me ask you this, because there might be a my brain is just mush. I can't even remember. What is it when you
Misconception?
no, not misconception, but when you can do something but I can't.
Oh, you talking about? We always say this.
Yeah.
There's a double standard.
Double standard.
Yeah,
There might be a
okay,
double
okay.
standard here
Okay.
because we don't want to see a woman out with a bonnet. I don't want to see a woman out with a bonnet.
Yes.
But people don't say nothing when men go out with a do-rag. And honestly, I don't like men going out with do-rags. Honestly.
Yeah.
To me, that's for the house. But this guy's out with do-rags all the time and don't nobody say nothing.
So I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm gonna also say that I think there's something about the way that the do-rag has been associated with a person being a gangster or a person being tough or hard.
Yeah, that's true.
That might, because of the way it's portrayed in movies, that
yeah.
might end up being a turn on for some women. So
That's true.
I'm not sure that's
And-
always
and-
a turn
and-
off.
and I'm gonna say-
but I think that has to do with the way that it's portrayed in movies.
That's true. And
I
I'm-
don't know that the bonnet has been portrayed that way yet.
No. Look,
That's what I'm saying.
the only way the bonnet is portrayed is when you see Friday and you see
Right.
somebody out there looking like they cracked out.
Precisely.
You know.
Exactly. The crackhead
The-
wears
the
the bonnet.
crackhead
while
wears
she's
the
out.
bonnet, yes.
That's exactly right. Yes. You
Now,
are correct.
that is true, because I'm not going to look at a guy who has on a do-rag and just be like, ugh.
Right. Not
I'm
automatically.
But I'm saying that's a
Yeah.
double standard, man. You know, the
Maybe.
do-rag is supposed to give you waves. It's supposed to
Maybe.
do stuff to your hair too.
Maybe.
But I guess it turned into a style, and maybe right now the rise of the bonnet
Maybe it's
is
turning into a
into.
style.
I just don't see how that thing can be a style. Sorry, you.
I
will
haven't
never.
seen them cute. You know what I'm saying? If
I
they come
haven't.
up with a cute bonnet, I'd be like, all
Listen,
right.
they got the color. People be doing all their Instagram stuff with bonnets on. I
Right,
just be
right,
like, why? That is not cute. And I'm not saying you got to always be cute. That's not what I'm saying.
Educate us, y'all. We need to know because we just don't
Listen,
understand.
let me make
You know
it
what I'm
clear. I'm not saying you always got to be looking on point.
saying? Right. But if you're going
But-
to the out in public,
Nah, the bonnet though,
Take it
that's
off.
for the bed.
right.
That's for your pillow to see. That's it.
And only when you and your husband are not going pound chicken pound pound. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. But that's good. People like to hear that. I want to
Yeah,
hear your
you know.
opinion too. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, babe.
Anyway,
You won't see me in a bonnet.
I'm so glad.
Go on with a scarf.
It actually
You
makes
know-
things, like we're in the mood all the time because of that. You know that.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? I think the scarf is equivalent maybe to a
To a do-rag.
Do-rag.
Maybe.
yeah.
So the bonnet is just ugly to you.
It is. I'm sorry.
Anyway, y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.